Hello and welcome to Colourful the Board in the post-truth apocalypse. I'm Ben. This week I'm joined by Gaz.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
Today we're going to talk about the mutiny on the Batavia. We're going back in time.
Going back? Yes. So help me with my history, which is famously very shit. What period of Earth is the 16... whatevers? What's happening?
It's the 17th century, it's the 1600s.
1600s. What does England look like?
Well, we've just beat the Armada, we're a fledgling maritime power.
Is everything
We're having a
made
few
of
scraps with the Dutch, who were the leading maritime power at the time.
Dutch, yeah.
60s? Is this sort of Robin Hood? Does it look
No,
a bit like that?
way
That's
after.
medieval.
Way after. We're talking muskets at this point.
Muskets, right. Wigs. Funny wigs. With
Yeah.
Little ribbons in the ponytail.
Yeah.
Boom. I'm there. Thank you.
Alright. It's actually a little known fact that the Dutch, with a little bit of Dutch courage, sailed at the Thames and set fire to the English fleet one day. Back then, when the Dutch were the big boys on the seas. We don't teach the kids about that one.
That wasn't very nice.
No.
Well, they didn't want us to usurp them, which we did in the end anyway.
Britannia rules the waves, Mike.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck you.
Not so much anymore, but you know,
No.
we did. Anyway, let's thank some new return listeners and we'll crack on with it. Horten and Fredrikstad in Norway, New City in America, Madrid in Spain, Washington in the US, Alexandria in the US, Books in Switzerland, very gold, weirdly stamped gold, maybe 1940s vintage stamped gold, Switzerland, have you? Yeah. San Jose in the US, Brussels in Belgium, Eislingen in Germany, Boardman in the US, Greenville, Ashburn and Kempsel Bluffs in the US, Rummingen in Germany, and Guadalajara, Spain. Thanks for listening.
What subject have you done that's piqued the Germans' interest recently?
I don't know. We've always got a couple trying around. Thank you very much, German listeners. You can understand us lot, fucking hell.
Dankeschön.
Indubitably.
Ich heiße Gaz. Ich gehe Schlittschuhlaufen.
I've always had a handy.
No, that means ice skating.
No. He said, you want to go ice skating? And I said, where's your mobile phone?
Well, I don't get it.
Oh, you could give me your number so we can go ice skating.
Oh. Actually, last time...
Wunderbar.
Natürlich. Last time I went ice skating, I fractured my elbow.
Oh, you did, yeah?
No, we won't be doing that again.
No, I can't blame you.
What are we talking about?
So the mutiny on the Batavia. The Dutch, at this point, are the big boys of maritime shipping country of Europe. And they had the spice trade. They were sailing to Indonesia with shiploads of gold and jewels.
And actual spices.
No, they're bringing the spices back.
No, they're giving gold and jewels for spices.
That's so valuable spices.
That's how insane it was, yeah.
Oh, man.
Can you imagine that now?
Well, imagine taste and flavour being a new thing, though. And the only way to have it is for people to get on massive ships and risk their lives, like. Otherwise, it's a potato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
crazy now, isn't it? Just sprinkle a bit of oregano on your food.
we take everything.
Oh,
man.
no.
People were willing to give up. Bring us more of that thing that happened in my mouth. I'll give you fucking gold. Go and get it.
Yeah.
It's really dangerous. Like, we could all die. I don't care.
It's how long is the voyage?
About
It's like
a year.
a year's voyage, a 2 years voyage, just to bring back and because they're sailing in fleets, it's all coordinated.
Fucking madness.
Well, of course, all these ships are armed because you know they're carrying shitloads of gold and then they're carrying shitloads of just as valuable spice.
And there's pirates about.
The British Navy's trotting around.
And now everything, you just pop down the local supermarket and it's all just sitting there.
About 30p in Asda for a tub of herbs, mixed herbs.
Mad how things change, isn't it? I'm just trying to put my mindset of just like being someone who's never like tasted like flavour. Do you know what I mean? Like actual flavours and like, and it comes on a ship from as mystical overseas and you just taste all these things. You're like, what is happening in my mouth?
It's an party in your mouth and everyone's invited.
I'll never eat a raw turnip again.
I need spice.
Wow.
And the Batavia is like christened. It's a brand new ship. This is his maiden voyage.
Oh no.
Never go on a maiden voyage, I think, is the lesson.
They either go swimmingly or... Well, excuse the... I didn't mean that. Well, they go really tits up, didn't they?
They do.
Yeah.
And so the Batavia, brand new ship's got 24 guns in it. It's cost them a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's named after the capital of the East Indies, which is now Jakarta, Indonesia.
Yes, yeah. And on the 29th of October 1628, Batavia departed from Texel in the Netherlands on its first voyage for the... I'm going to massacre this every Dutch pronunciation of this.
Yeah, that's alright.
By the way.
Fuck them, you just told me they set us all on fire years ago.
It's the Verenigde Oost-Indische Company, or the VOC, or in English, the Dutch East India Company. If you notice, the Dutch East India Company vanished because the British East India Company came in and took it over.
Yes.
Trade follows the flag, gentlemen.
Yep.
And we stole everything of value that we could.
Finders keepers.
Including the word pyjamas. There you go. Did you know that? There's a factoid.
That's a Persian word, isn't it? Pyjamas?
We picked it up while we were over there colonising India. We didn't have a word for they were just night clothes, I guess, or whatever.
Nightgown, yeah.
And the word pyjamas. There you go.
There you go. And of course all the curry.
Fact of the day, yes.
Yeah. And jungle, the word jungle means forest.
There you go. Why did the lion get lost?
Because jungle is massive.
I've told it before.
An oldie but a goodie.
So sailings are part of a larger fleet. The Batavia was transporting 341 people, money and merchandise to Batavia, as Mike said, Jakarta, Indonesia. The Batavia was commanded by the VOC's most experienced merchants, one of the most experienced merchants, Commander Francisco Pelsard, and skippered by Arian Jacobs.
Arian.
That's it. I watched a video today, that's how they pronounced it.
And is he Aryan?
I don't know. He's old and he's drunk.
He's Dutch, he's bound to be quite Aryan, isn't he?
More than likely.
The men had little respect for one another. On a previous voyage together, Pelsard had formally reprimanded Jacobs after an incident of drunkenness and insubordination. The problem you've got is they've got a really complicated, overly complicated structure, command structure.
Right.
So while Pelsard is the VOC's man, and technically fleet admiral, every ship has to have a captain. And Jacobs is the captain of the Batavia. And he's like, I don't like being overruled by you because this is my ship.
This is like on episodes of Star Trek when an admiral from Starfleet comes on board and starts taking over and overruling Picard, and you can see like this ain't going to go well.
That's true, but Picard isn't a drunk.
No, that's true. If he was, though, I could see it.
I can see him, but he was a bit of tasty in his younger days, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like to drink, like to fight.
Wait, you see, the thing is, though, when was he drunk? Was he drunk on duty? Oh, okay, well then, yeah. I don't know, why is he upset about getting bollocked then? What do you expect? You can't pilot a ship.
Because it's his ship.
Yeah. He's arguing that I'm the captain, I can do what I want, why do I have to listen to you?
Well, if you're pissed, you might sail it into rocks, you silly twat.
The thing is, at this period in history, when you've got year-long voyages, is you need someone who's firmly, literally got his hand on the rudder.
Yeah.
You don't need someone who's drunk. But sadly, the only thing you have got is someone who's bored and thinks, you know what, think I'll have a glass today. Because there's fuck all else to do, let's face
It's
it.
exceedingly unprofessional. You
It is, but as captain, you're effectively god of your ship. It's your law. And you have to maintain discipline on these things, otherwise things break down, as we're going to find out.
Not when the VOC's top bollocks is there, though. He owns the ship, doesn't he?
He's representing the group of people who own that ship, yes.
Yeah. And I know the captain feels, this is my sacred. But you haven't got the money tied up for this.
No.
You don't own this ship, so we're just here. I can understand this is perfectly reasonable to me. I can see why he doesn't like it.
Oh
but
God, yeah.
Come on, mate. There's salute and do you?
Well, they wouldn't be going on this. I was going to say mission. What would you call it?
It's a voyage.
Yeah.
Without the VOC backing it, I guess.
Yeah. And you got to be getting paid.
All these people are employees of the VOC.
Right. So you're getting paid, Captain. I forgot his name.
Jacobs.
Jacobs, you're getting paid. Do your job. Just don't be pissed on the job. Can't drive a boat pissed.
Well, thing is, it's like you're giving the yay or nay. You've got your officers to pilot the boat for you.
Think about it. Should we fire Captain? Yeah? Well, fuck it, go on then if you think.
Well, that's why
firing at? Oh, fuck knows.
That's why you have this VOC merchant who acts as admiral of the fleet and 8 other ships with you.
Yeah.
Obviously, the more ships you can send, the more shit you can bring back.
That's a lot of spice, man.
Yeah. Now, in April 1629, Jacobs once again defied orders during their 8-day stopover at the Cape of Good Hope. He took a ship's boat without permission. Cape of Good Hope's the bottom of South Africa, by the way.
Yeah.
He took a ship's boat without permission and went on a drunken spree, visiting other vessels in the fleet and neglecting his duties.
Hey, it's me! Who's driving your boat? Fuck knows! I bring rum!
I left that fucking idiot Pelsar on the boat running
Fuck
things.
him! If he wants all the power, fucking drive it yourself, you twat!
Yeah, you won't get anywhere than me.
How did you get here? Stole a boat.
He's got some casks of rum in the boat with him.
Have you been drinking, Captain? A little bit. Would you like a little bit? Come on. He gets all these other boats smashed as well.
Bearing in mind, it's been 6-7 months constant at sea.
You know, you might need to blow off a bit of steam.
Yeah, you got an 8-day break. You're gonna blow off steam, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, Captain. Hey, I watched, remember I said I watched the entire run of the 60s Star Trek? Captain Kirk takes, basically, Scotty and Bones to what is essentially a whore's planet to have a little bit of a wind down.
That doesn't surprise me with Kirk.
No, but Scotty ends up murdering one of them, but it turns out it wasn't
Well,
Scotty.
Scotty was a sex worker.
It wasn't Scotty, but, they make it look... Well, yeah, basically, that's...
He is Scottish.
No, but he's a good captain. I remember thinking, I'm like, I know in the 60s this was probably okay, and it looks a bit weird now by today's eyes. They're all just literally sitting there perving on these dancing girls, he's like trying to egg Scotty on to pick one. But he's looking after his men, isn't he?
Well, if he took the whole crew, and I said yes.
No, just his main men. Let's get down there and blow off some steam.
What about the rest of them? What about the likes of me and you work on the lower decks?
You can't leave it up there, fucking...
Do we get a turn?
No, you're in red shirts. You don't get this.
Fucking hell, why
I'm
not?
looking after my bridge crew. Well, 2 of them. Me mates, basically. Spock could have come, but he's a fucking square.
Yeah, I can't see Spock going to a strip club ever.
It is not logical to pay for sex. Oh, fuck off, Spock.
Look, I'll pay for you to get a blowjob. How's that, Spock?
Fascinating.
A blowjob, you say?
Well, he didn't take his men with him, neither. Jacobs, he just went, he fucking nicked a boat, went, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm off to see some deer. You lot have fucked me off so much in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm stealing a boat, getting pissed, and I'm going to row to one of them other ships.
I'm the captain, I'll steal a
That's
fucking
how
boat if I want
much
to.
this VOC fella was getting on his tits.
Yeah.
Can you imagine it?
I'm either going to kill him, or I'm going to row to that fucking ship over there.
I want to run over there to De Blanc first, or whatever the fuck it's called, and have a beer with their captain. Dentist chairing.
Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin. 2 rum bottles, smash them together. Oh, what a guy. This guy sounds ace.
Well, as they sailed towards the East Indies, tensions increased, and Jacobs expressed his anger and vengefulness to the main cunt of the story. Pardon my Latin.
Is that foreshadowing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Euronymous Cornelius. And it's a shame because I like the name Euronymous. Euronymous Bosch, one of my favourite painters.
Euronymous Prime.
Yeah,
But, he's got to ruin the name Euronymous for me a little bit. And he's the under merchant, so he's, what's his face, his boss, the VOC guy. I can't remember his fucking name already. See, I do these Dutch names and they trip me up. Pelsart. So yeah, he's Pelsart's underling, and
Right.
he's there because he's got some extreme religious views that you might get persecuted for in Holland.
Right.
So he's like, well, I'll go and sign on with the VOC.
Was he a Muslim?
No, he weirdly follows this little religion that this painter started.
Oh.
And he was considered heretical.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, because the painter used to paint with sort of, it's like a ghostly images. he said it was a spiritual painting.
That's it. He only painted when he was in the spirit world.
Yeah,
He was
spirit
doing like
world,
3D like pictures before, with everyone going up to it and crossing their eyes. Go, oh my god! Imagine if you could go back in.
They look ethereal. The pictures do. That's the best way I can describe it.
Okay, and people believed they would.
What's heretical?
channeled.
It's guys. Yeah, he's in the spirit world painting this stuff.
Oh no!
Church was like, you can't be doing that.
No, can't have that.
Imagine if you went back in time and showed a magic eye picture to it.
You'd be burned at the stake.
Somebody from the 1500s or something. Well, I know that, but just their actual reaction to they would just
They would say you're in league with the devil, wouldn't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
What is this devilish portrait you bring before my eyes, heathen? Burn him!
And this Cornelius, he also had syphilis.
Oh, we all know what syphilis does. Yeah, exactly.
It
Drives you mad.
Oh dear.
So you're on a boat with a guy who's got syphilis, untreated, it's getting worse and worse and worse.
Even though he's an apothecary.
Yeah.
Can't you just chuck him overboard?
Well, nobody knew he had syphilis.
Oh, right.
He kept that quiet, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, or he didn't know.
Or
Well, you'd think he'd have known, being an
I
apothecary.
think he did know. He caught it off someone, didn't he? And
Oh, yes, that's right, yeah. So he knew he had
he
it.
knew, but nobody else did.
So Cornelius encouraged the skipper to speak his mind, and together they cultivated a plan for mutiny. They recruited a small group of accomplices in order to seize the ship and its valuables, which included 12 chests of silver coins, Powsert's consignment of silverwares, and antiquities such as the great jewel of Gaspar Boudin. Boudin. Or Boudin.
A great jewel.
I heard somewhere you're looking at about 40 million in today's money. That was 40 million Australian dollars. The podcast I was listening to was Australian, so 40 million Australian dollars. The Australian dollar's weak as shit. It's probably still, I don't know. It is. This is a fact. It's probably still about 10-15 million pounds.
Yeah.
So $25 million US, 20 million.
A good haul?
It's just not a bad
Not
day's
bad,
work,
is
is it?
Worth going for.
You can go anywhere in the world and start a new life for that. Or you can become pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can live the pirate
Well, that's
life.
what they're basically doing now, isn't it? This plan makes them pirates.
Yes. Guess so. Yeah.
Oh, that makes them mutineers and then pirates. Goddamn mutineers.
Yeah.
Less than a month after leaving the Cape of Good Hope, Powsert became unwell, and while he was confined to his cabin, Jacobs took advantage of a storm to separate Batavia from the rest of the fleet and create an opportunity to test Powsert's authority. They're navigating by what's called dead reckoning. So it's like, once we've round the Cape of Good Hope, we vaguely go that way until we hit the coast, and we'll find Batavia.
Right.
But because he's a bit drunk and hatching plans for mutiny, he must get distracted somewhere. And once the storm hits, it's a perfect excuse to separate the fleet.
Right.
But instead of going the right way, he goes the wrong way.
Yeah. And all it takes, because you're going such a distance, it just needs to be nudged off course a little bit.
Oh yeah, and then over time you've gone, yeah.
Because at that time there was no reliable way to measure longitude. So navigators relied on visual observation of landmarks and unreliable measurements of time, distance and speed.
Yeah, I mean, the most you've got is where the sun is.
Well, if it's storm and you can't see fuck all, there's nothing in your eye line.
For me, this is the equivalent of going into fucking space.
Yeah.
You're meant to people that don't come back.
To me, it's terrifying. I don't
voyages.
like I hate massive ships. This is weird. I don't think I've ever admitted this on the podcast. For some reason, massive ships freak me the fuck out. Like as if they're completely unnatural and like weird. The idea of being on one in the open ocean.
Yep.
Terrifies me.
Scary as fuck.
It terrifies me. You know those videos of like deep sea fishing vessels and that.
Yeah.
And I'm not exaggerating. It's like the movie The Storm. It's just
Yeah.
there, and you're just like, why would it's unhumane. No human should be out there, and we built our machines so that we can be out there. But fucking hell, I find it. And then if you go in it, oh God, the fear of how deep the ocean is now. I find it absolutely primevally like terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Deep within
If things
my
go
DNA.
wrong, you're fucked.
I fucking hate boats. I hate
You're in the
shit.
middle of the fucking ocean.
I'm not a fan of boats.
The size of it
not
all
like-
freaks me out.
And it's not like today where there's like loads of ships and you might get lucky.
Well, and you've got GPS and you can send satellites, distress signals.
I've got a
Fucking them
phobia.
days.
This is you got longboats and that's it.
You know when you see a little normal boat like that maybe would fit 4 or 5 people next to a container ship, like the biggest ships we've got. Something about that spins me out. A type of vertigo. I find that terrifying. There's something about them things. They're so huge and unnatural. Well, that's what you need to get through this shit. Like, oh God.
Yeah, but then you see
The
the
men and women that do that, God love them. They're different breeds.
thing is
from
on
what
them
people say. Like,
massive container ships. It's like minimal crew. It's like 30 people.
yeah.
And
Fucking mental.
the fucking bow's dipping down and the sea's coming over it.
Yeah.
And it goes back up again. You're like, fucking hell.
Crazy, innit?
Yeah.
I'd be
different
sick
breed.
everywhere.
I think everyone is when they first get on it.
I've
aren't they?
never been very good on boats.
Get your sea legs.
Even cross-channel ferries, I'm terrible on.
I like the swimming pool. I like, the sea, the beach, dipping your,
Dipping
walking
your toe.
up to about your waistline. I'm comfortable with. Fuck, am I getting on a boat going any further? I don't want to. Fuck it. I'm looking from here, mate.
For a year, Gaz.
Yeah, oh, fuck off.
And then a year back.
And when you look around, you can see nothing but them waves for as far as your eye can
I
see.
know, yeah.
Imagine the
Yeah.
fear and the loneliness.
Yeah.
Well, people have gone mental. They do go mental. All sorts happens out there.
You go sea mad, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Isn't that what like cabin fever, where it comes from? It's the sea, isn't it? Being out
I
on
guess.
the deep sea forever.
I guess so, yeah.
No, they just literally can't
But the thing
fucking
is,
take it
those are
anymore.
modern built ships with modern safety features and the best technology we've got.
I wonder, do these
And,
things
this
like
is
creak?
these
and,
are
like,
wood. Yeah, they creak, they leak.
leak.
You know, people. The bilges are always filled with water.
It's
There's
terrifying.
rats.
Yeah.
You have people who
Disease.
go down
Yeah,
every
you've got
day.
scurvy as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. You have,
Rotten food.
you have people that go down to the bowels of the ship every day, and what they do, they call caulking, which is really basically spread moss and mud and shit into gaps to stop the leaks as pumps and everything. And then all ships leak to a point, but you don't have like manual hand pumps if they've even got that at this point. It's probably just a case of slopping out the water every
Yeah.
day.
There's nothing.
And it's like, if something goes wrong, well, this is why most people follow the coast.
Yeah.
Right, but to go round the coast takes probably a good 4 or 5 months longer. You sail around India for a start.
Yeah.
Right, so essentially you cut the corner, don't you?
Yeah.
But you're on dead reckoning. You're just like, oh yeah, it's vaguely that way.
Vaguely that way.
And that's all you've got, is it's vaguely that
Insane.
way.
That's the difference between like Edinburgh or fucking Brazil.
Yeah.
If you get turned around in a storm,
Come back to where you came
then
from.
you've either got to find land or fluke it.
Yeah.
And then you've got a finite amount of supplies.
Yeah.
Right? That's why we come to picking the weevils out of biscuits and drinking our own piss.
And it's incredibly strict. It has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're out of line, you're getting flogged.
Yeah, fucked up.
Yeah.
It's got to be to keep it running, yeah.
It has, yeah. And as captain, you are God on that ship. It's how you want to run it.
Yeah.
The point is, you've got to have the lash, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, people aren't going to, follow discipline.
Rule with an iron fist. Or they could turn around and go, I'm not fucking maintaining the... Because there's loads of work to do, isn't there, on the ship?
Oh, God, yeah.
Constant, maintaining things.
Swabbing the
and-
poop deck again.
Yeah, I'm not fucking, fuck you. Make me. Well, alright, and they do. With a cat of 9 tails.
On the 14th of May, Cornelius and Jacobs directed their men to violently assault Lucretia van der Meulen, a wealthy noblewoman travelling to join her husband in Batavia.
There was a lot of women on board this, and kids and families. Cause
Oh,
they're going,
okay. It's like the Enterprise D. Well, they did. They had families and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
They didn't on the first one.
Yeah, that's true.
So this isn't just like
not just
army,
sailors.
military. Yeah.
No.
Oh, those poor women and
Taking
kids, though. Fuck me, the
passengers
things
as well.
they would have seen.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many months did you say it was?
It's about a year
Yeah, fuck.
each way.
I wouldn't want to be a woman on a ship full
So-
of fucking 16th century sailors.
God no.
She's the wife of one of these wealthy guys out in Batavia. So she thinks that she's like, oh, well, they wouldn't really going down into the crew areas, but these guys kind of ambushed her, sexually assaulted her,
Which they did.
and it was a horrible experience, and
terrifying.
but she was chosen by Jacobs because she'd previously rejected his advances, and she often dined with a commander. So a bit of jealousy going on.
Yeah, fucking hell.
She's also like the most attractive woman on the ship.
Yeah, she's rich.
And
she takes care of herself.
He's obviously trying to, hey, come on.
Yeah, and he's just filthy. She's a noble woman, for God's sake. She's not going to lower herself to you.
Exactly. They'd hoped that if Podsafe was unable to identify the perpetrators, he would punish the crew as a group, and it would feed dissension amongst more of the men. However, Podsafe suspected he was being provoked, and he thwarted their plans by doing absolutely fuck all.
Oh, God.
So, like, if we like sexually assault, we get good to go sexually assault the wealthiest, most attractive young female passenger
The
on
one
the
that's
ship.
been dining with the commander.
Yeah, he'll have to do something, and because no one will loan up, he'll punish everybody as a result.
And then we get more men on our side.
Then we get more men on our side. They literally sexually assaulted a woman just for their own little aims.
Sick, innit?
And then the fact that he just does nothing.
And it's a political move, him
Yeah.
doing nothing. It's like, sorry that happened to you, that sucks for you, but
If I do something, I'm
Yeah.
going to lose this crew.
sorry.
Yeah, the captain only hates me. I've heard whispers that there's talk of getting rid of me, a mutiny, and I can't do anything.
If he's a real man, he would. I say this as somebody who would be terrified, but if he was a real man or one from a movie, he would have got the. Did you say it was muskets? They'd have them single shot
Yeah.
pistol things when he loaded up about 12 of them. Fucking put them round his belt, grabbed her and said, "Come on, point to him."
She can't, that's the problem.
Did it in the
What?
dark.
Oh, fuck.
And they wore masks, they wore hoods.
Fuck. Alright then, I'd gather everyone on the desk with my 12 loaded things and I'd just pick people at random, bang, headshot, right, bang, headshot, bang, one of you, bang, is gonna fucking tell me, bang.
But then by the time you've shot the fourth one, you've got 12 men on you because they're like,
Yeah.
we're not
Right,
taking this
well
shit.
I would get her to back me up. I'd get a little crew together of my own, I'm the fucking VOC man.
Yeah, but they sail for the captain.
They just
You're
raped a bitch. They
you're a
just raped
company
this poor
man.
lady. Right,
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna go,
He's Gorman, you're Burke.
I'm gonna work out.
Oh yeah, basically.
Fuck yeah. I'm trying to think of it like an action movie. In a movie, you'd work out who
He'd
it
have a
was.
team behind him.
Or he'd work out who it was and individually hunt them down on the ship in various places and fucking murder them. Or throw them overboard.
Oh, did you hear that Jan's got murdered yesterday? Fell down a ladder, I hear you. You know, kind of thing.
I just think it's shit that no one's getting vengeance for this woman.
Yeah. And you're right.
Actually, if this was a 2024 action movie, she would kill everybody.
She would, yeah. With no training,
No.
just with knitted needles.
But let's not be misogynists.
Let's not, pander to the message.
Nope. Love you, Disney. Big kiss.
Now, Batavia's voyage should have been a routine journey for a VOC ship, which were built to make annual voyages between the Netherlands and East Indies. However, in the early hours of the 4th of June 1629, Batavia struck a reef in the Houtman, how'd you say that? Houtman Arbors Islands at full speed. They're off the coast of Australia, so dead reckoning has failed them fairly badly.
Well, it's because it's been done on purpose, the storm.
He
He guided them off.
He was going to nick everything, wasn't he?
So the whole fleet's been split up and he's took them off course so he can
Yeah.
mutiny, basically.
Yeah, but he still doesn't want to end up here.
So is he going to load up some little boats and fuck off and leave them stranded?
They are, so they're stuck on a reef and they attempted to dislodge it, and they're like, oh, maybe we struck it at low tide. So, like, when high tide comes along, it'll just float us off and we'll be fine. Sadly, they struck it at high tide. And after like about 12 hours of realising that.
It just got worse.
Yeah. So they focused their efforts to getting people off the ship. Under difficult sea conditions, the crew began to ferry people from the Batavia to the nearby islands using the ship's boats. And most survivors were landed on a small sand and coral island known as Beacon Island or Batavia's Graveyard.
Little hint of
Ominous.
what was going to go.
And about 40 people or so, including Post Sergeant Jacobs, made a temporary camp on a smaller island, which would later be known as Traitors Island. About 70 people remained on Batavia in the days following the wreck, mainly because they can't swim and they're scared of drowning, but others took the opportunity to drink freely and loot the abandoned ship.
That'd be me. Completely ignoring reality. Fuck it.
Look,
Imagine it though, you're eating turkey legs and...
guys, if we don't get off this ship, mate, we're going to die.
I don't give a fuck, look at all the rum. I'm drinking the captain's rum, sitting in his chair, woo, having a big
Naked.
wank. Like, oh, woo, guys, we're all going to die.
Unfortunately, every day the ship's sinking a bit more and more.
Yeah, but I'd be like so pissed
Until
about
eventually,
I'll come in the morning and then I'll pass out and die, obviously, but...
all that was left was a mast sticking out of the water.
Wasn't that more fun, though, to go out drunk in your sleep, right, than on this fucking island, in all the heat?
There's nothing on the island.
Exactly, the heat and sand.
Yeah, there's no water,
on the
there's no
ship,
food.
these fuckers are like stuffing themselves till they puke and just down in as much fucking rum as they can. Imagine it, you've been a lowly deckhand or whatever they're called, you know what I mean? A red shirt, everything's Star Trek for me. You know, you haven't been allowed to gorge yourself or go mad, and you know people higher up have been, and you're like, oh, fuck it, we're going to die.
Yeah, I get it.
Or maybe they're planning, we'll get on that island. Or imagine if you're one that can't swim, what are you going to do? Cry about it or drink some fucking rum?
There is that in them.
Yeah.
And then try and swim.
Or just drown on the ship and get a pissed stupor.
Well, eventually it was no longer safe to remain on Batavia, and people were forced to swim or float on wreckage to the nearest islands. Amongst them was Cornelius, who was reportedly the last to leave the ship. Probably because he was just gorging himself. Beacon Island and Traitors Island had no fresh water and little food, and the survivors only had limited provisions, presumably because everyone had fucking ate the rest of it. The guys that stayed on board, he just fucking ate it.
Maybe we shouldn't have had everything.
I'm just going to do another unbutton another buckle on my breeches, though. Oh, I'm so full. I just floated here, I didn't need wreckage. I'm so full. So because they've got nothing, Pelsar Jacobs in a surprising team-up, Sergeant Jacobs in a surprising team-up, and 46 others took Batavia's only undamaged boat to search the area for fresh water. So unsuccessful, because they literally sailed to the mainland of Australia.
They do, and they see Aborigines.
Yeah.
For the first time. Yeah.
No way.
But they don't find anything, they don't find any
They only
fresh
see
water.
them. They only see them in the distance. They don't.
Just give them a wave.
Yeah.
Hello.
Apparently, that's the first instant that Westerners and Aborigines met. Yeah.
Well, I'm just proud of these guys for not immediately killing and attacking.
Yeah. They weren't the first to make Australia land, and that was 1606.
They don't waving at each other.
Captain Cook, wasn't it?
No, the Dutch again. 1606, they landed on Australia.
Well, how come Captain Cook claimed it for us?
Well, I know, yeah, but
The Dutch not think to put a flag down.
Mate,
Obviously
nothing
not.
counts till we get there.
And put a flag down.
Yeah. The Brits are here.
The Brits are here.
No.
Flag.
no, sorry, it was the Dutch about 100 years earlier.
We're going to call it Queensland.
Yeah.
There we go. This is the Queensland now.
And you're going to have a little bit of our flag on your flag.
I'm going to fill you with convicts.
Bye.
But the best of it is that Pelsar and Jacobs and the 46 other dudes in this long boat that's not designed to go in the sea for long distances are going to row about 1,500 fucking miles
To Indonesia.
to Batavia.
And they make it.
No
And
way.
they make it madly. They shouldn't have,
Yeah.
right? Because, okay, they've probably got the majority of the food that's left and the water.
Yes.
It's 1,500 miles. And I know there's like strong currents in that area, but it's a while, innit? And they did it, and they came back. So, after the wreck, after Pelsart and Jacob's departure, the two guys who were in charge probably should have left one of you there.
You'd think that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Rather than you both team up and go off on a buddy
Who's the
rowing
third
movie.
in charge? Say, till we're back, he's in charge.
Yeah. So
Well, the problem is Cornelius is third in charge.
Guy with syphilis.
Oh yeah. He's in charge.
And he just apparently he gets elected in. Presumably because he's the third in charge and they all think he's got some experience in these matters, presumably.
But no, chaos descended instead.
No. So he assumes leadership and he's aware that the mutiny plot's been leaked. But he's also aware there's not enough food and water for the survivors. And Cornelius was determined to consolidate his power and ensure his own survival. Which, let's face it, if you are in charge and you've got all the food and water...
So what he did is he sent some people to another island, said go look for food and water.
Yeah.
But secretly he then sent soldiers after him to go and murder them on that island. And he did the same on another island with some more people.
Okay.
That was his plan.
Yeah, but then he...
So
Sadly,
eventually, they were all dead.
what he did was he sent...
He sent the people that were a threat to his leadership.
Right, okay.
Right.
So he
So-
kept the women and the young children.
Yeah.
And,
He sent a
The
bunch of
people, the
people off
sycophants
to one
and-
island to the right.
yeah.
And like, go and look for food over there, send smoke signals if you find stuff. And he sent all the soldiers who he knew were like, because they're paid mercenaries and professional Dutch soldiers are probably not going to be on his side, he sends them all off to another island. The downside is for him is that they find food and water and they smoke signal,
Yeah.
but because he wants them to die, he just leaves them there for a bit. Meanwhile, all the other people on the other island are starving and dehydrating to death.
Yep. And that's when he sent his men to finish them off.
Yeah.
When they were
So-
in a weakened state.
And then
Fucking.
anyone who's still on the island that he can't send off, or he needs them to stay for some reason, but they won't join his side, he gets them murdered at night or in secrecy and the body's just buried. Between July and August, Cornelius set about reducing any opposition through a divide and conquer strategy, resulting in the assault and murder of over 100 people.
Jeez.
And there's literally tales where he gets some bloke into his tent and he's like, right, you're going to sign this contract of loyalty to me and the mutiny. So, this is your oath. You're going to support us. And he hands him the oath and he signs it. And he goes back to his tent and finds that his family's been murdered.
Fucking hell.
We did that to your family.
Oh my god.
You're loyal to us. He was an evil bastard.
Oh yeah.
What?
But he wouldn't do any of the murders himself.
No.
He tried poisoning a little boy.
Because he was sick and crying all the time and disturbing his sleep.
What a fucking.
So being an
he
apothecary,
failed, yeah.
he's a fucking apothecary. If anyone knows what shit to mix together to kill somebody, it's a fucking apothecary. And he can't manage that. So he gives it the medicine. The kid goes into a coma and he's like, oh, dude, go strangle that baby for us, would you?
Yeah, gets his minion to finish him off.
Fucking twat.
Now, one of the groups sent to another island by Cornelius, a soldier group, under the pretense of searching for food, water and food, had been successful. A small group of survivors under the leadership of the soldier, I've heard it pronounced as Webby Hayes.
Weeb, I think.
I like Webby. He sounds British if you call him Webby. Were surviving thanks to the fresh water and food they discovered. And these survivors resisted the mutineers and eventually captured
Yeah,
Cornelius.
because he sent men over to kill him, but because they were soldiers, they killed his men.
Yeah, they figured out basically that it's like.
You prick.
So they made some sort of primitive weapons. They even built a little fort.
Oh, legends.
Still there.
Oh, no way.
So it's the oldest Western building in
What's
off
it
the coast
made
of
out
Australia.
of? Rocks.
Yeah.
Bits of coral, rocks,
Yeah.
everything. But they made this little fort, and because they're soldiers, they've got some discipline, and they stand guard and things like that, so 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And when the first bunch of Cornelius guys turn up, they just fucking ambush them and I presume bludgeon them to death.
Maybe they've fashioned sharp sticks, Rambo style.
Sharp sticks, definitely.
Any
Any flint about, I don't know, anything like that.
smash them in the head with a rock.
Because Cornelius had gathered all the muskets together.
Yeah.
Because obviously that's your decisive weapon, isn't it, the musket?
Yeah.
Hand to hand, well, everything's game, innit? Maybe your guys win, maybe they win. But muskets are your nuclear weapon at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the second time he sends a bunch of blokes and himself to go and lead the attack, and they've got the muskets, but it still doesn't go well, does it?
No, and they finally capture Cornelius.
Actually, have I got that mixed up? The third time they send the guys the muskets. The second time Cornelius goes with the hand-to-hand dudes, gets captured.
Then they come with the muskets to get him.
And they come with the muskets to get him.
Yeah.
But in that meantime, Podsafe, who has got balls of steel, guided these guys through to Batavia and returns to the islands in a boat the governor of Batavia's lent him.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, go and look for survivors. And also, a lot of gold on that ship.
Yeah, he wants his gold
We
back.
want that back.
Big jewel as well.
Yeah.
Can't remember what they called it, but some big special jewel, the great jewel. Or
they love that shit.
Yeah.
Gaspar Boudin or something.
Something like that, for good memory. Once there, he sets about committing the crimes committed. Investigating the crimes committed. Because literally, he turns up and Webby is like running towards him going, they're fucking attacking us, mate! We're gonna have your ship! That's the plan! They want your ship! So him and Webby sail back to the ship as fast as row back to the ship as fast as they can. And as the mutineers with their muskets are going to have this place, he sent most of the blokes ashore. Climb up over onto the deck. They're just greeted by dozens of levelled musket barrels. Like, you better surrender, aren't you?
Yeah.
Put your weapons on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty badass.
It is, you're done.
Yep.
Webby is a bit of a badass, to be fair.
Well, he's the captain, this is my ship.
No, he's the soldier.
Oh, the soldier. Sorry, yeah.
There's actually still a statue of him in Australia, in some town on the western coast.
Yeah.
He's the one,
So, I was getting confused then. I thought you meant, well...
He's the soldier that built the fort and defeated Cornelius.
But the
And
captain...
the mutineers.
The captain... He's still racing back to the wrecked ship. Oh, I thought you meant they were waiting for the captain, but they're not waiting. The captain's...
The captain went off with the head of the VOC, Pelset.
And they're now on their way back.
They've come back now.
The captain's still in Batavia.
Yeah.
Because there was some whispers of the mute. Some of the crew
Yeah, that's right.
Some of the crew said to Podsafe, "Hey, he was going to mutiny against you, mate.
Yeah.
He tried to recruit us."
So it's the soldier.
So when he gets back,
Yeah.
when they get back to Batavia,
He's
older
detained.
Jacobs is like arrested.
Yeah.
Podsafe said, like, "Go and get the fucking gold and any survivors, mate."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So Pelset's gone back.
So is the captain... is the soldier, Webby, now in charge of the ship and the gold?
Well, what's left of it,
Yeah.
Yeah. And he, obviously, so Pelset gets there and he's like, look, there's mutineers on the other island, they tried to kill us.
Yeah.
We captured Cornelius, the head of it. And then...
But they're coming after your ship.
Yeah. And we've protected it.
He's at sea off the coast.
Yeah.
They sent longboats ashore. They're going after your ship. You sent most of your blokes ashore. We need to get back to your ship because if they take that, they're going to leave us all here
Yeah.
and get off this island and they're mutineers.
Yeah. I'm with you.
But they get back to the ship in time and agree, and so the
beat them
mutineers
back
are
there.
greeted with dozens of muskets pointed at their face.
Yeah.
Fuck around and find out.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep, so what they did is Pelset ordered men to build gallows on one of the islands.
Yeah.
For the most serious surviving ones, like, I'm not even going to give you a trial.
Doesn't deserve it, this motherfucker. Murdered
He doesn't
100
murder
people.
Cornelius now, doesn't fucking... He refuses any wrongdoing. He did nothing.
What a cunt.
He will not... I did nothing. Don't know what you're about.
Yeah, still
Didn't do
refused to the end.
Right
confess.
to the end.
You can't blame your syphilis, you've got to be a psychopath.
Yeah.
So him and 6 mutineers were executed.
Good.
Well, Cornelius was executed by the wheel, wasn't he?
Yes,
What's
he
that?
was.
I was
yeah.
going to say hanging's too good for him.
So
What's
6
the wheel?
mutineers were hanged and Cornelius was on the wheel.
What's the wheel?
They basically break your arms and legs, and you know a big cartwheel?
Right.
Like a cartwheel.
Yeah.
That's laid horizontally, or vertically if you've got straps.
Yeah.
Usually horizontally.
Yeah.
Your mangled limbs
Tied to the wheel.
are forced under the spokes
Yeah.
and tied into place.
Yeah.
and then you're just kind of beaten with sticks while they spin you.
Yeah. If you fall off, the wheel, then they think that's God saying that you're innocent or you've had enough punishment. You're allowed to go. If you stay on there until you're beaten to death, then that's...
You were guilty.
Yeah, you were guilty.
Jeez.
We used to do a similar thing with hanging.
What a
If the
way to
trapdoor failed to go 3 times, you were let off.
Fair enough. That's God telling you.
God's judgment.
Yeah. What I was hoping something horrific happened to him, but I wasn't thinking that.
Yeah. That was their worst punishment.
That's
Dutch,
dark as fuck.
That's
That tells
basically...
you that people did things bad enough to warrant...
Yeah.
Think like bullet to the head's not enough, hanging. Like they didn't want to. Would a musket kill someone if you put it to the temple?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Why didn't they do it?
They didn't want it to be
waste
quick,
it.
did they? They wanted it to be agonising.
No, I mean, I
painful
was
death.
just thinking like the hanging, like, isn't
Yeah.
it? How come they didn't just like bullet to the
Yeah.
head? Or is hanging just, I suppose, the traditional?
Must be.
So what you
It's a sufficient deterrent. You're strung up in
do? I
public.
suppose you don't want to be seen. Mind you, I think so.
And you can live for like 40 minutes. Hanging, if it's not a hard knot and the drop doesn't break your neck, then you just dangle there pissing yourself for 40 minutes, choking to death slowly.
Jesus.
And
Christ.
and the thing is, some executioners, some hangmen, because the crowd, because it's all public, they're selling souvenirs and sandwiches, mate.
Yeah, they love it.
Right?
Well, not here. because they're on the
no,
island.
not this one, but a public execution, mate, they're hawking shit.
Yeah. Didn't like Christopher Lee attend the last public execution in
He
France?
may have done. It was something like 1946 or something
in
like that.
France, was it, or something?
Guillotine was 46,
He saw
47.
the last public, like,
Oh, my God.
like Ed cutting
Actually,
up.
I think the guillotine
60s, isn't it?
was retired in the 60s, yeah.
I might be butchering that story up, like, but I'm sure Christopher Lee's involved somehow.
Yeah.
He witnessed the last one in
He did.
public.
Anyway,
And he also, my favourite story about him is, you'll know this, is it on Lord of the Rings, where he was like, no, men don't react like that when you stab them.
in the back.
Yeah, this is how they react. How'd you know that? Oh, war.
He was part of the fucking
He was
OSS,
fucking awesome.
wasn't he? He was the Office of Strategic Services. He was the British. That was the American one, the OSS. British were. Oh,
You should
fucking
know.
hell. I should. I just got it out of my head completely.
Well,
SOE.
he's
Strategic Operations Executive.
He's a legend.
I mean, he was like he was slitting throats and fucking stabbing people in the back.
He was a great actor. He was in a metal band. He was fucking awesome.
It's Count Dooku.
Well, this guy, that end, I've got to be honest, because I didn't read up to the end, so I was hoping, because a lot of times in stories like this, the evil bastard gets away with things, so I was hoping he had a brutal end, but that wheel's kind of fucked me up a little bit, like, you know, I've had my head kicked in before, it was not a nice experience, and you're there thinking, well, I can't wait for this to be over, but like, no one was trying to kill me. If I'm like, I can't move, cover my face, my arms and legs are already broken, and people are just smashing me with sticks until I fucking die.
It's horrific.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I can't
Your
cover
arms,
my face.
your broken
I can't-
arms and legs are wedged under the spokes of a wheel,
And I'm
of
being
a
spun.
cartwheel, and you're being spun.
You can't
and
cover
people
your
just
face. And someone's
banging.
smashing it over and over and over and over. Well, fuck me. He
But you-
probably shouldn't
Yeah.
have. I know he didn't by his own hand, but he, like a pussy, ordered the murder of 100 people.
Between 109 to 125 in the end.
We should point out as well the women he kept as sex slaves.
Yeah, he raped them.
And I was going to say that earlier.
Yeah,
but
forgot
there
to
was
mention
definitely
that.
cult leader shagging
Oh,
vibes.
yeah.
Keep
Oh,
women.
totally. Totally.
He used to go, right, you're tonight, you're tomorrow, and like that. And
Yeah.
if they didn't, then he'd beat them.
And of course, if the husbands objected, of course, they'd be killed.
Well, they were all killed anyway. Fuckers. Well, thank
Yeah.
God for them soldiers, you know, and their training and their discipline.
Or
They,
Weeb,
you know,
Webby.
Webby,
and they didn't fucking break. They didn't falter.
no.
Well, that's how you stay alive, isn't it?
Yeah,
you
they
maintain
kept
that
their
discipline.
Yeah.
And the fact you've got food and water.
Yeah, well, that will help.
But they were also like sending smoke signals up like every day, like, you know,
So you
come
come and had some
and
of it.
get us then,
Yeah.
and we'll bring some food back. There's food here, come and get us. And he was like, instead of saving everybody and making these guys an ally,
What was his aim? Because did he want the gold and the jewel? Like, or what?
That was what we wanted originally. I guess that.
Thing is, if the mutineers
mad with the syphilis, I guess.
If the mutineers had got the ship, then they could have quite arguably turned around to the guys on the land and said, "If you don't give us Cornelius back, right, and the gold, that's not even that. We'll shell you. We'll cannonball you. We have the artillery
they're on
piece
the
here.
ships, aren't they? Yeah, they've got cannons on the ship. I forgot about that. I was thinking though, but how were they ever going to get it off the coral though? Like, were they just going to steal, somehow put the gold on another ship and leave it there? Or
Dive and get it?
They'd dive and get it.
Ain't that far.
Once it had sank.
Even if they had to bring it up
Yeah.
over a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
Yeah.
as long as you got the provisions.
Which is what Pelset did, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, they were
recovered
bringing
most of the gold.
Yeah,
didn't he?
he tried to get most of it back. Yeah.
So we got 6 mutineers hanged, Cornelius on the wheel, and then there was another guy and a young cabin boy.
It wouldn't turn in the mutiny guys. Weirdly, they were fanatically loyal.
Yeah. And they were not killed, but they were marooned on Australia on the mainland.
Okay.
And
So
they're considered pioneers now, mate.
Yeah,
What, did they survive?
Yeah, they must have survived for a bit, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't know what happened to them, but they were the first Westerners to inhabit Australia.
The statues of them.
Yeah, but how long did they inhabit it for? It could have been like.
Well,
Yeah, it could have been days, could have been months,
could have been
years.
about half an
Yeah.
hour, mate. They could have been savaged by spiders the second the
Yeah.
ship was out of fucking view.
oh, I mean, like, can't you take me to New Zealand? It's only a bit further round.
Literally spiders biting their ankles, lizards on their face,
Oh, there's-
killer ants.
There's no way on earth I'd ever live in
The
Australia.
trees will kill you in Australia. The fucking bush life will
It's-
fucking poisonous.
It's Catachan from Warhammer 40,000. It's a jungle death world.
Oh fuck
There's
that.
everything can kill you on Catachan.
Fuck Australia.
Is
No, I
it-
don't mean that. Like, fuck Australia. I love you as a people and the
Yeah,
things you produce.
you're great, but you're a convict.
I'm not coming there.
You live on an island full of spiders and snakes. I
Too
don't
much
mind the
of a pussy.
snakes, but the spiders,
I'm
no.
giving them respect. I am too much of a pussy to exist in Australia.
Yeah.
I'm a pussy.
How about you grow up with it? You grow up with a spider as big as your head hanging over your bed.
Fucking shit on you, Mum. I don't want to go.
No, New Zealand. There's none of the
I
wildlife.
give a fuck how nice the beach is. I don't care.
One side of the island you've got beaches and surfing, one side of the island you've got skiing. I'll go for that. That's fine. There's no spiders, there's no fucking snakes.
But hasn't New Zealand gone a bit, you know?
Well, only there's a tourist, Gaz.
Woo woo. They might lock you up for thinking things. Anyway, that's not about shipwrecks. So, basically, almost everybody fucking died.
Yeah, I think they picked up about 140 survivors, something like that. Right? Around that
141,
mark.
I think, yeah.
Soldiers and
Mainly the
a
soldiers
few
and
lucky
the women, the children. Most of the men who were unaligned with the mutiny were either executed or died.
Yeah, good.
And there were some that died on the way. Some died of scurvy and they.
Drinking your own piss.
Now, do you think if he'd have been less pissed, he'd have known there was a coral there? Or were their navigational techniques just, were they that in the
think
blind it was bound to
If
happen?
he was less pissed, they may not have hit the
Oh, well, he
coral.
was. No, but I tell you what, I'm forgetting part of the story. If the only reason he was off course that far and being a prick was on purpose,
Yeah, it
wasn't
was
it?
because
Yeah, but you still don't want to
He
hit the
didn't
coral.
want to hit the coral. No, I know that, but he never would have happened if he'd have tried to stick with the fleet. Because what happened to the rest of them?
Thing is, he could have been aiming for the islands and hit the coral instead. It's dead reckoning, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to picture it in my mind. I don't know. Like, could he have did he because he was pissed, or would it have just happened anyway?
No, you're not going to deliberately crash your
Should he
own
have
ship.
known that close to land there may be corals?
He should have known that. I think you can put it down to his drunkenness.
Yeah.
Thing is, he wasn't actually. No, he was there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can put it down to his drunkenness and the other guy being confined to bed because he was ill.
And greed.
And yeah. Now they found the wreck in the 1950s,
No way.
1963.
1963. That's impressive. Skeletal remains and historical artefacts, including a trumpet.
Any gold and jewels left?
Nah, that's all gone. That's all fucking gone.
Amazing though, isn't it? That a wooden structure.
It lasts for a while,
several
doesn't
hundred
it?
How did you
years
find
later.
coins?
Do they?
Yep.
I think how thick the fucking holes of these things are. They're like 2 or 3 feet thick of wood.
Yeah, it's
Of
amazing, isn't it?
pretty oak.
It's fucking amazing.
It was
really.
found in
Yeah.
1963 by rock lobster fisher.
Rock lobster! Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, I can't help myself.
Dave Johnson.
Dave Oh,
Wow.
they just fitted the song.
And they recovered 4 cannon, 2 astro blades.
Astrolabes. Astrolabes.
What are they?
Dunno.
Probably navigational devices because Astro look at the stars and you're trying to figure out where you
good
are.
shout, man. Yeah,
Coins and ceramic material.
fair play.
And obviously they found all the graves on there.
On the island. So
All the
yeah,
skeletons.
Mike, I can't help but notice you got a bit of a thing for fucking shipwrecked people struggling to survive on islands.
I think
You
it's
did that
fascinating.
Cannibal Island episode that we do with Pete and Claire, and it's like, man, this is grim.
Well, it is fascinating how
Yeah.
people behave, but
You think you gotta have fucking big bollocks to go on that ship in the first
First
place?
Oh,
place, yeah.
fucking too right.
But then
I mean,
this guy though, you can't account for someone turning into a fucking psychopathic, fucking Hitler Napoleon bastard. Like, what? Wow.
As for going on the ship, I mean, they sail in fleets. Enough of them make it back to be profitable. It's still fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
But it's like they couldn't have gone on an airplane for them, I guess. You know, we all know that airplanes are obviously incredibly safe, but when it does go wrong, it
if it's
goes
a Boeing.
fucking wrong, doesn't
Yeah, I
it?
was going to
Unless
say
you're
they
a-
used to be.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm saying? If it goes wrong, it goes fucking wrong.
Really wrong, yeah.
Yeah.
It's equivalent to getting on a jet plane for them and flying to Spain.
Well, I was just thinking actually, I know it might sound daft, but they didn't have PlayStations back then and telly and... I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm saying there was a fucking lot less stimulation.
Well, you
So,
got
you know,
gambling,
Sea shanties.
Was there ways to
gambling,
earn money?
singing, drinking.
Yeah.
You know, was
No,
it a
there's
good
your
way
three.
to...
fucking-
No, you're not fucking that much on this shit. You're not even listed.
So you're a young
If you're a
man...
sailor, you ain't fucking.
No, but on some ships they used to take prostitutes.
Well, that's a valid point. On every ship of this era, there were always prostitutes who were smuggled on board.
You're a young man, you've done a bit of army, or maybe you
You
didn't
wanna
want to
fuck
go
the
in the
cabin boy?
army. You know, you
If you're
get to
that way inclined.
go away for a year, earn some money, which I'm sure there weren't, I don't know how many jobs there was in 1660 whatever.
It's just at the birth of capitalism, wasn't it?
You know,
Dutch
go off,
invented it.
adventure. I'm sure it was sold to them as adventure on the high seas, and what the fuck else are you doing? I mean, what do you do all day?
When you go to a place like this, you're either selling yourself for a short life because you're going to pick up some nasty tropical disease you've got no immunity to.
That shows you how shit life was at home.
You
doesn't it?
do
Yeah,
your
yeah.
service, or you actually, you know, you make your fucking you make your wealth out there. This was a far off place where you can make wealth.
Yeah.
You can go out there as a commoner and come back as a fucking millionaire.
Well, I watched a documentary. I think it's on Netflix about like the sort of pirate paradise they built out there in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And like a lot of these guys were like ex-navy, like,
Oh, they're all
you know,
ex-navy.
and the war was over, and like,
Yeah.
what do we do? Go back to fucking England, or stay out here and live this mad like?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
absolutely right. If you've got a bunch,
Yeah.
I think the Navy at the time, right, genuinely got reduced by about 30,000 guys.
Yeah.
The Navy was, because we were trying to beat the Dutch so much, and when we eventually did, it's like, oh, well, we don't need so many warships because this is a massive financial drain on our treasury. We're going to lay off 30,000 sailors. Well, you've got 30,000 blokes who spent 10 years fighting
Yeah.
and sailing.
Yeah.
What are they going to
They
do?
don't know any other life.
They've got no other life. They're
Yeah.
used to discipline. They're all like basically ingrained into it.
Yeah.
We're going to go off and be pirates. So the pirates are very democratic.
They were very egalitarian. They shared everything.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. It's on Netflix. It's really good, and there's boobs in it. It was basically about this, how they had like a democracy and a
Yeah.
structure, and like, but it all went tits up in the end. I can't remember how, but it did. I think they were just
I think Blackbeard was just too fucking
Yeah.
hard, to be fair.
Blackbeard, who like would actually put like lit pieces of flint in his
Yeah,
beard.
yeah.
So
and wax candles,
so
mate.
this mad
Wax
looking
candles.
fucking lunatic was standing there with his smoking fucking beard and like
Six pistols in his belt,
just
cutlass.
building, because he understood it would build his own legend and strike fear into.
When they see the flag,
see that flag, don't fuck about.
because it's not just a skull and crossbones. Every pirate's got his own individual skull and crossbone. Every other chance, watch Black Sails.
Yeah, man.
It used to be on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's the Black Sails. It's fucking. There's a few because it's a bit old now. There's a few actors in there you'll recognise.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Lost in Space remake? Did you ever see that?
On Netflix.
Main character's the captain in that. That was meant to be his big break, and it kind of
I think I
fell.
watched the first episode, but it was shit.
Yeah, it's a terrible show.
I tried to watch it. I think I watched the first one and I think I'm going to love this, and it was shit.
A lot of people, a lot of sailors just quit being a sailor and become a pirate because it was a better life.
Yeah.
Well, more money,
They
more
were looked
money, you
after.
weren't-
better living conditions.
You weren't in
Food.
danger of being flogged.
No.
Yeah, but
Food,
he's still
you-
flogged.
Well-
you still have to maintain a discipline.
Yeah, but
But they were
If
a
you
bit
did
more,
something-
bit more like a gang and a
It
family.
was if
wasn't
you
it?
did something really bad that earned everybody's disapproval. Yeah, you'd be
And
still be
another
flogged.
thing that people don't know about the pirates is they're very non-racist. They like rescued
Yeah.
slave ships and
They
stuff,
did.
and welcomed black people
Yeah.
in as normal members of the crew, not
Yeah.
fucking as free men essentially, which they weren't on the fucking
No.
government ship
No.
Yeah,
at
totally.
the time. Things like that. So this is a mad time of
oh yeah.
like history.
Let's not forget, we as the English are a nation of pirates.
Yeah, different breed. Well,
Well,
yeah, we
yeah,
left
That's
an
what the
island.
Spanish refer to us, isn't it? A nation of pirates.
Well,
Well,
we left
the
a little
Spanish were-
island, didn't we?
The Portuguese were, the Dutch were before
Yeah,
us.
we're
Every
more,
empire is,
we're
though,
more
innit?
piratey, like in terms of this kind of era. If you think pirates, you ain't thinking Spanish pirates, Portuguese pirates. It's English pirates, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
we were the Spanish refer to us as a nation of pirates, or they used to. Maybe our listeners in Guadalajara can figure that one out.
Do you know why everyone thinks that pirates talk like
Because
that?
of a film in the 50s.
Yeah,
wasn't
it is, isn't it? I heard it on
Yeah.
No Such Thing as a Fish. There's basically a series of successful films about pirates, and the lead actor just
Went with it, yeah.
He was, I don't know what they sounded, so
Arr.
Cornwall.
They're sailors, aren't they, Cornish?
Right. So that is just like a meme passed through society to this
Yeah.
point now. You ask a fucking 6-year-old what does a pirate sound like?
Arr.
In 2024 they'll still do. Isn't it mad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The things like that just spread. We don't know what they would have sounded like wherever they sounded,
Cool.
whatever
Yeah.
part of England they
Yeah.
came from. It'd been
You
all
had
mixed
fucking-
and
You had press gangs at this point. You know, you'd be drinking in a pub, a bunch of burly sailors would come in, and just basically kidnap you,
Yeah.
God.
take you to the ship, and say you're a sailor now in the Royal Navy. We need the guys. You ever sailed a ship before? No? Well, you're a gunnery guy now. You're going to learn how to fire a cannon.
They did.
Get on with it.
To kidnap people.
Yeah, just
Oh,
get out at the
imagine
pubs off
that.
the- You could be walking down the street.
I had a girlfriend and a cat.
He looks 17. He just grab you off the street, throw you in the back of a car, beat you up a bit, dump you on the ship. Off you go.
Next thing you know,
You're in the Royal Navy now, mate.
You've got scurvy, you're starving to
Yeah.
death, you're sunburned to death.
Fucking
They didn't have
insane.
sun cream, did they?
No.
What they did, they just did burn.
Yeah.
Skin cancer before they knew what it was, I
I
suppose.
guess they had big hats.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Handkerchiefs tied
Very
over
big,
the head.
very big hat.
They had hats.
Like this wide,
Yeah.
like wider than your body, so
Yeah.
you're entirely in shade all the time.
It's worth pointing out the pith
never be
helmet
able-
is the
and-
finest sun hat design ever.
A pith helmet, why
Pith
is that?
helmet. Because it's got a peak, so it covers the nose.
Right.
Covers down the back of your head. It's made of cork, which is waterproof and
You
lightweight.
just will come up with any reason to put on a fucking pith helmet. You're mad for them. You'll be buried in one.
It's the finest sun hat design ever. It's it's
Just a
incredible.
big spike on top.
No, you don't have the
Nothing to
spike
do
on
with it.
top.
Do you wear it to the beach?
I would wear it to the beach and have the spike on
Like
top.
He
Yeah,
does have one
dangerous.
listener, by the way. He does
I
have
know
a
he's
fifth
got
helmet.
one.
I know. I'm just telling the listeners.
Alright.
I did have.
You know you
You
will.
lot- what have you-
I lost it.
Did you?
I lost it
Oh.
after download. I know where it is. I just haven't recovered it yet.
Oh, okay.
It's a tragic story. I'm not going to go into it. You need to end the show.
Not as tragic as this story.
You seem heartbroken. I'm sorry.
So, what do you think of the story of the Batavia?
Oh, it's awesome. It's not
awesome and horrifying.
But you know what I mean?
It is, isn't it?
It's horrifying. But it's all down to one psycho. If he hadn't been such a psycho, I wonder how everyone... Would the soldiers have just shared the wealth, wouldn't they?
Well,
do you think everyone would have just got on... Well, they certainly wouldn't have all 100 of them been murdered.
No.
They might have ended up arguing.
Well, they wouldn't have gone off course as well, because he's the one that set them off course.
But I'm saying, let's say they get to the island and
Yeah.
the evil one, I forgot his name, syphilis man.
Cornelius.
What if he just dropped dead somehow, fell down a ravine?
Yeah, they probably would have worked together to survive.
I reckon, like
I
just a
think
natural
so.
sense of humanity.
But the thing is, they voted him in as well. It's like, oh my
because,
God.
like you said, though, he was third one
Yeah,
down. They weren't to know he was a
Oh, no.
fucking psycho.
The thing is,
was it?
the first...
Syphilitic psycho.
Why didn't fourth one down kill him or something and go, you're
He's-
fucking...
The first... If he did, actually, if you think about it, he did the right thing, but then killed people because he was a power-mad lunatic. Yeah, you should send people to different islands to go and... Is there any food? Is there any water? Can we get fresh water? Can we get food?
Mm-hmm.
Can we... So we did the right thing in that respect, and then when... You know what? Those guys are a threat to me, so I'm just going to leave them there.
And when they're dying, I'll go and send some men to finish them off.
Exactly. You know, what are you doing? You could have all survived.
I know.
But
then he got to live like a king for how many, like 6
Well,
months?
he definitely had a cult leader thing going on,
yeah,
didn't he?
he was literally power mad. It's a very human story, to be honest, isn't it? It's
sadly.
a tale as old as time.
Sadly.
You know,
Yeah.
lunatic, syphilis-ridden, third in command of a fucking ship full of gold and jewels, crashes on an island,
100 people dead.
splits everybody in two, tries
Tales
to
all the
murder all
time.
the soldiers, rapes all the women,
Tell us
gets-
all this time.
takes all the time, caught by the authorities, tied to a wheel and beaten to fucking death.
I stood on that wheel though.
Imagine the sounds.
That's their equivalent at this point as hang, drawn and quartering,
Oh, God.
basically.
Yeah,
That's their equivalent at this stage in history.
This was reserved for the worst crimes.
Yeah.
And I think
Oh,
it's safe to say that it was one of
Yes.
the worst crimes.
rape, murder, poison, child. Is there a word for it when you...
Infanticide. isn't it?
Infanticide, that's what I
Yeah.
was trying to... Yeah, right. Like the list, it just goes up. Murdering
Yeah.
entire families, rape, like, you know, fucking hell.
What can you say?
What a fucking twat.
What? Oh,
And if they'd have
I've
just
got to
fucking...
pee. I'm going to put this out.
Oh,
I've got
sorry.
to pee.
Well, we'll wrap up now, shall we?
Go on then. I was just say, if they'd have just got on and respected each other's position on the boat and not
Yeah.
planned a mutiny and just gone and done the fucking thing and...
Your captains are drunk.
But greed and
Yeah.
power crazed
Mm.
fucked everything up.
Yeah. I think that's the lesson we can take from that.
Yeah.
And don't go on fucking long, don't go in the sea.
No, don't go on a year voyage
No,
in a sailing boat. It's crazy.
we ain't supposed to be in it.
Yeah. We're all in agreement, are we?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much for listening. I've been Ben. I'm gonna say, do as thou wilt, but not if you've got syphilis.
A lot of holes in that, I'm telling you. I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out, may the force be with you.
I have been Gaz, free Biff Tannen. Bye.